Hi YouTube, Darth here. This week Dragon's Teeth came out, so CTE has been really low-key. In fact, it was pretty much dead this weekend when I went to play. At its peak, it had about 14 players on one server. And this isn't really that surprising with the release of Dragon's Teeth. I expect most players are either waiting for meteor changes to arrive on the CTE, or they're too busy with Dragon's Teeth. In any case, let's take a look at what this week on the CTE brought us. The first change that came earlier this week was a tweak to something called frame history time. According to DICE, this is one of the values that the server checks on clients moving in the world, especially clients with high latency. This change appears to only have been server-side as they set up 3 special servers with new values. What's the ultimate goal of all this mumbo-jumbo? They're trying to fine-tune the server settings so that the advantage enjoyed by players with high pings is negated. DICE used the particular example of players dying behind walls, but they didn't mention if this would fix all instances of behind-wall deaths. The next change this week was the player's soldier movement. They've updated the time and the momentum of soldiers, meaning that how fast you get up to top speed and stop has been improved. However, they've not changed the top speed of soldiers, so don't expect to run along like the $1 Million Man. What this means is you'll be able to shoot, move, stop, shoot again faster than you were before. What I'm hoping this results in is a smoother, snappier experience when you're controlling your soldier on the battlefield. Next up, all of the scopes that DICE intends to modify, with the exception of the red dot pistol sights, have now had a pass done on them. There's a few more visual bugs that they've indicated that they're going to change, but they should all at least be functional now. If you remember my CTE video from a few weeks ago, what this means is that the uncontrollable shaking that your sight would do has been removed. Now your sight's crosshairs will remain fixed to the center of your screen even while you're firing. Before, to get this kind of accuracy of where your gun was actually pointing, you'd need a laser sight. On the Rush gameplay front, Lancang Dam has made its appearance on the CTE for a Rush game mode overhaul. I don't know if you've had the displeasure of playing this before the CTE, but the second set of bombs was nearly impossible to take on vanilla 64-player servers. So they've modified those points, along with some others, tweaked the cover on the map, and revised the number of vehicles on the map downwards. Again, I didn't get a chance to play this because of the low population servers, but I can definitely speak to how much fun I've been having on the CTE Rush mode in general. These are definitely necessary changes, and I'm happy to see them still supporting what has been a lackluster game mode in Battlefield 4. Some minor bug fixes went into the CTE this week as well. First, and I think if you've ever played a round of Metro or Lockers, you've noticed this, is a fix to grenade icons not disappearing when they've expired. Now, according to DICE, the grenade icons are cleaned up when they explode, the only exception being the incendiary grenade. So what this will hopefully mean is no more cowering in fear from a grenade that doesn't exist anymore. Next, the defensive player Dorito now shows up only in the world. To be honest, I kinda liked it showing up on the minimap, as well as it made enemy players a bit more obvious on the minimap. If you're not familiar with this feature, a week or so ago, DICE added a change to players who are using the defensive squad perk. Now, their Dorito will appear with a shield around it to indicate that it will take at least 1 extra bullet to kill them. And finally, the obliteration bomb circle has been updated to show more frequently and has had its animation synced to the position of the bomb itself rather than the position that it was in. So I got to thinking a bit today with a buddy of mine, and we were talking about the future of the community test environment. I'm kinda curious to see where DICE goes with this once the next patch from the CTE is out in the live game. We'll have already put all the latest weapons and gadgets in with Dragon's Teeth, and then we'll have, I assume, the rest of the changes that are currently being tested on the CTE. So what's next? Obviously we've still got one more DLC to go, and it'd be nice to see that content put on the CTE, but I think that's still a few months off. What other hot topics remain to be addressed? I'm sure there's a lot of folks out there that will argue that Battlefield 4 is far from perfect, and I'm not saying it is, but it sure is a lot better than it was at launch. Thanks in no small part to the CTE. DICE has talked about balancing weapons and vehicles, and particularly helicopters when it comes to vehicles. Additionally, this last week I've seen a lot of great thoughts out there about what should be changed about vehicles in the game. But what do you think about the future of the CTE? What things do you think need to be addressed in Battlefield 4 yet? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. But that's it for this week in the CTE. If you liked this video, please throw it a like. If you're new to my channel and you'd like to see more Battlefield 4 videos, please consider subscribing. Again, I'd like to remind you to take some time this week to play in the CTE and give the developers your feedback. Thanks for watching YouTube, and I'll see you next time.